Hi everybody, it's Janet with Fruit of the Vine Art Studio. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you being here with me. Let me just pull it up on the computer real quick here. There we go. I'm going to do something just a little bit different. Tonight we're going to talk about different paint brushes. I'm going to be using 2 different paint brushes, and I'm also going to use a palette knife tonight. If you've never used a palette knife, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that can be used to do a few different things. It's a very simple tool to use. I'm also going to use a chip brush, a small chip brush. This is a 1-inch chip brush. And I'm going to use a fan brush. And we're going to do a little bit of water reflections. I'm going to do something that will show a little bit of reflections in water. Okay, thank you, Steve. I appreciate you being here with me. I'm going to be using a pale blue. I've got a bright blue, and I've also got a dark blue, and then I've got a little bit of black and a little bit of white. I'm going to start off with some pale blue, and then some bright blue, and then go straight into this dark blue here. Get it to open. And then I'm going to finish that off with a little bit of black. All right. Very simple. I might need a little more black out than that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start off using my chip brush. Now, chip brush is just a very cheap and it's very cheap brush that you can get at like the at Home Depot, something like that. They are really nice for making backgrounds and things along that line. I'm going to start off by just making a light blue area here in the middle. And then I'm going to go straight into this bright blue and do that right up above and below. And then I'm going to get me some of this deep darker blue here, move that into it. That's the dark blue. And then just a touch of the black up here. And a small bit right down here. And then I'm just going to take my brush and wipe that off a bit. And going back to the middle here, I'm just going to take it and just sort of start working it in a figure 8, moving it upward. Then I'm going to come back over here and just start moving this the same way in a figure 8, going this way. Okay, so now we've got this light blue area. Need a little bit of more color right over here on the side. We can just take this and just sort of bring it in this way a little bit. Maybe a little in here. Right across through there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to take it and go straight into the black. And I'm going to take the black, and I'm just going to take it and go right across the middle here. Back and forth. All right. Now, I'm going to take this brush and put it in the water, and I'm going to take my fan brush. A fan brush, as you can see, it fans out. That's why it's the fan brush. We're going to go straight into black with that. Hey, Jessica, thank you for joining me. And I'm going to take the fan brush, and I'm just going to go straight down the middle, like this. And I'm going to make a taller one here in the middle. It's going almost to the bottom. And then I'll make a smaller one in this area right here. Okay, now I'm going to take this fan brush and I'm going to hold it this way, and I'm just going to kind of Bring this down and make it a little bit bigger and wider as we go down. Same with down here, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller as it goes up. Just like that, okay? Going to do the same thing right here with this one. We're just going to start off and just touch it lightly with the side here. Bring it back and forth. Make it a little bit wider as we go down. Just like this. Bringing it back. Bringing it across. Touching it with just the little side like that there. Okay. Over here, this one's going to be just a little bit smaller. Give it a little bit higher right there. Okay, see how that looks there? And then I'm going to take this black and I'm just going to kind of bring a little deeper black right through the middle here. Just to give it more of a line of the black right there. Okay. So now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to put it in the water and I'm going to get my chip brush back out. Rinse that off. Okay, so now to make the reflection in the water, let me scoot this over a little bit here for you so you can see a little better. Let's see if I scoot you down just a little bit to where you can actually see what I'm doing here. I think that might help you a little bit. I didn't zoom you all in tonight. There we go. That's a little bit. Oh, goodness. Now I flipped it. Now I gotta flip it back. There it is. Gotta be careful what you're doing with that crazy thing. Okay, now you can actually see that there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the chip brush here and I'm gonna get all the wetness off of it to where it's basically, I'm gonna dry brush it. And what I'm gonna do is very lightly, I'm just gonna take this and just drag it back and forth very lightly. Just like that. Maybe put a couple of little spots over in here. Just a little bit down underneath right there. Okay, so now we've got the reflection actually in the water, and all we had to do was to just take this chip brush and almost feel like light as a feather right above the paint. You're just barely touching it and moving it back and forth to give the water a reflection of movement. It gives the movement. Okay. Now we're going to take our palette knife and a little bit of white paint. And I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to get it into the white paint along the edge here. It's a little hard to do on a plate. Okay. Got it along the edge of the paint of the knife, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to just drag it right through this edge right there. And then where this is, I'm just going to take it and move it back and forth a little bit. Let me get just a little bit more. Just using that palette knife. And get this white right there. Pull that off. That had a little doodle in it, so I'm just going to take my knife and work that back and forth just a little bit there. Maybe just a little bit right in here. A couple of lines. That's just for movement. It gives the illusion of movement. Movement in the water back there. Let me get one up here. And then you could even take this and a little bit. There we go. A little more like that. There we go. So that takes care of that. Now we've got the reflections in our water. The only thing missing, I'm going to wipe this off real quick, is a little bit of stars in the sky. So I'm just going to take this brush here, and I'm going to dip it in the white paint. And I'm just going to put a couple of stars out in the night sky here. Oop, that one's not too. Make him a little rounder there. Some not so big. There we go. Let me see. Maybe I'll put, I'm looking at it up here in the reflection. Maybe we'll put one or two more in here. Not too many. I'll get carried away. You guys know I always get carried away. And next thing you know, I'm making thousands of stars. And I didn't come up here to make a bunch of stars. I come to show you how to make the reflection in the water. And I think that we've probably got that as far as we need to go. Let me just put a couple down in here, just to kind of get it a little balance. And there we go. We're stopping right there. There we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hope you enjoyed this. Here we have a reflection in the water. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again on Saturday. Bye now. Let me turn it a little better for you. There you go. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, I see that. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you. Bye now.